Good evening or good morning or whatever it is for you. I think I finally nailed the little Bolt Action MK2. Took me forever, but production ready. So as you can see, my normally fairly clean video desk is full of pens and contraptions and parts and whatnot. Maker Faire is in about 3 days down in Calgary, and I'm prepping to go there, and I'm planning on bringing a bunch of pens. Not bringing as many as I thought I was, but I'll get into that in a minute here. So as you can see, I have quite a few cases I have to fill, and not enough pens to fill it. Why is that a good thing? Well, at some point late in the night, as I was kind of trying to bang through these designs and rush through them, I realized that's not the point of why I'm making these pens. I'm not making these pens, mass production style to crank them out to give them as many people as possible. I'm making them as good as I possibly can, and still charge, a price that everyone can deal with. And in doing it that way, I can't just fly through them. I have to build them in relatively small quantities and, put a lot of care and attention to each one so that it's a quality product that I'm happy with and that I can stand behind for lifetime, because that's what I do for all these pens. So I'm not bringing down as many as I can, but the good thing is I'm bringing down everything that I'm 100% happy with and I'm 100% satisfied with how they came out. So that's what makes me that's what makes me more happy than having 50 of these available immediately. And I'm sure that people who have bought my pens in the past are buying it for that reason of quality, not the reason of mass manufacturing. If you want a good quality pen, there's plenty of sources online where you can buy them overseas, made in mass. But if you want something that was made, in my hands, that I've put my heart and soul into, these are them. So the reason you're probably watching this video is for this pen in specific. This is the MK2 version. I'm actually calling this one the 2.1. It is the production-friendly version of my Bolt Action pen. In the past, didn't really make many of these because they're so annoying to make, but this one, I finally dialed it in to a point where I'm super happy with the function. The Bolt Action is wonderful to click. It looks amazing. The cat is meowing, and I can actually make them in quantities more than one, and I don't want to drive off a cliff. So these are going to be coming with me to the Calgary Maker Faire. I'm going to bring a few units just as samplers so people can write with them and click them, because clicking them is fun. Clicking is so fun. See, I've actually developed a blister on my finger. I must have clicked these pens and then all the other ones over that way thousands and thousands of times over the last few days here, just trying to find any flaws in my design. And anyways, they work great. Anyways, moving on. The first pens that I'll be making is this one. This is a space pen refill. The reason the space pen refill seems to play so nice is it's a nice tight tolerance refill. It's all metal, so it slides nice, and it makes a very pleasing clicking sound. The other one, actually the one I initially designed this pen around, was this one, which is the G-Tech, Pilot G-Tech. As you can see, it's got the sharp end, spiffy box that they come in now. But there's just a little bit of sticking in here just because this tolerance is too tight for the pen length. But anyways, I need to tweak this one a little bit more. I'm not happy with it completely yet, so it's not going to be for sale yet. But the space pen will be the first one, and I think I have 5 reserved here, and I have another 5 pre-made and 5 in the works. I got about like 15 or 20 of these on the cooker right now, so they'll be available very quickly. These are the boxes that they come in now. These are 3D printed, and I stick a label on them. Each one is serialized, so I can track where they go and who they go to. And that's actually the CAD model of this pen. A kind of spiff, you can see how it works and whatnot. It doesn't have the pocket clip CADed in there, but you can't have everything. These are the boxes I made, and the cool thing about these, actually I'll show you one that isn't populated with the rubbers yet. In here I made little recesses that hold rubber filament, and same in the top. And what happens with that is I then fill it with, where's that pen? There we go. I put the rubber in there, and it's sized. This is hard to do through a camera. So when I put it in there, the pen is floating in the rubber. And then once I put the top piece on, it's completely held in rubber. So when it ships to you, there's no wear marks or anything, because it's amazingly hard to ship a pen. Not amazingly hard. Amazingly hard is going to the moon. This is very trivial. Anyways, easy way to package pens, and it looks nice, and you get a cool little case that's 3D printed, so that's kind of nifty. What else? Oh, as you can see, the pocket clip and the bolt pin are black. They're both made out of brass. The clip CNC cut, this one just turned. I then bead blast them and then I chemically etch them to turn them black. What that does is it gives it kind of a robust coating, but it's not a coating that's impervious to wear, and I planned it that way because you can see this one's starting to wear along the edges. I mean, I've cycled this one thousands of times now, but it's going to give it a really cool brass kind of peeking through the dark, matte black finish. And I think it's going to match in really nicely with the pen. So so I designed it that way. I want these to be used, and I want them to kind of show that they're used, Right? Yeah. Anyways, manly fanciness, call it that. What else? Oh, this is how I optimize the design for. Oh, that one's tight. Oh, I got it. There we go. How I optimize the design to make production easier is initially this pin was threaded into the bolt action, which made it really hard to adjust the height and to keep everything from binding, and then to change refills was a lot more difficult. So what I did now is I put a M3 set screw down in the bottom there, and eventually I will ship pens with an Allen key. I just don't have any yet. I gotta order a whole schwack of these that I can send out with pens, but right now you'll have to supply your own. This is hard to do in camera because I have no depth perception, but you reach in, you undo that little M3, and then you can pull the pin right out, and then the bolt comes out with it, and then you can change out your refill. This is actually the G2 refill, and there's a flat on this for a reason that I have not yet worked into the design, but it's there for a reason, and it actually makes aligning really easy, especially when you're using your eyes and not a camera viewfinder to do all this. So, and what that does is you can now push this pin in as hard as you want, and you don't have to worry about the depth because I've set the depth by machining it. Tighten that up, and you're good to go again. A lot easier to do, I think. So we'll see. Time will tell. I don't think it's that much work, and I think it's kind of fun, and it kind of feels like you're assembling some sort of machine. Too much fun. Too much fun to play with. Alright, that's it. I gotta keep getting ready for this Maker Faire. Got a million things to do yet, and running low on time, and I need to wear my watch again. If you're local to Calgary, come down, check out the Maker Faire. It's a super fun time. I always have a good time there, meeting cool people, talking about cool things. I'll have weird things there. I'll have little stickers and whatnot. I'll have my little CNC machine that I just made, YouTube video card thing up that way. I'll have a bunch of pens to play with. I'll have some pens for sale, not many. Like I said, I only have a handful or so here. But I'll have those down there for the people that want to be first. Then I'll have a bunch saved for you YouTube people. There'll be probably a pre-sale on my website launching in a few days for the next batch, which I said is already in production. And we'll go from there. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you when I see you. Take care. Bye.